channel. As always, I'm going to start this video like I start every other video by saying thank you for all the nice comments that I received. It has been absolutely crazy to wake up and have just notifications of people commenting on my videos. It's exciting for me, so I'm glad that you guys are liking the videos. I had planned to do a totally different video today. I wanted to do the case of Brian Schaefer. It turns out that when my computer died the other day when I was researching that case, everything that I had typed didn't get saved when it died. So I'm highly frustrated, but I still wanted to get a video out for you guys, and this is just something that I had saved, and I'm pretty sure somebody else recommended this video. But if you suggested the Brian Schaefer case, I will be uploading it. I just have to redo all my research. As always, my little disclaimer here. This is true crime ASMR. If you do not like true crime and you do not find true crime to be relaxing, I do not have the channel for you. There are tons and tons of other content creators that make traditional ASMR that you will enjoy, but if you don't want to hear about a missing person or anything like that, this is not the channel for you. With that being said, I don't know if I've been getting trolls or something, but this is an ASMR channel. So yes, I'm going to be whispering. As I said before, if you don't like whispering, if you think it's creepy, then I can recommend some podcasts for you where you can listen to true crime. But there are a lot of people that want to get tingles while they listen to a true crime video, and that's what I'm here to do. So, now that all that is out of the way, this is the case of Kortne Stouffer. Kortne lived in Palmyra, Pennsylvania, and her parents were Scott and Wendy Stouffer. She was 21 years old when she disappeared, and she is described as basically just a hippie. She loved being outside, she loved the music of the 1960s and just the atmosphere overall. She loved animals, and it said that she had a dog, a black lab named Sheba, that she got on her 8th birthday. Kortne was a family person through and through. She had a baby brother, and she was always active in his life. She would come home for family dinners often, and basically she wanted to be a part of her family. In 2012, when Kortne was 21, she moved out of her parents' house to get an apartment with her boyfriend named Bradley. Now, what I forgot to mention first is that Kortne's parents described her as a feisty girl. She was full of energy and love, but she was feisty. She had a mind of her own. She would say what she thought and basically was just blunt. And as I'm sure we're aware, not everybody is a fan of that. So, on Saturday, July 28th, 2012, Kortne and Bradley decided to throw a party in their apartment. They were just gonna have, some friends over, just have some fun. Around 9 o'clock that night, her neighbors called the police, and the police responded to go over and break up what was essentially an underage drinking party. And Bradley was caught drinking there, and he was on probation for a DUI. So at that time, he was arrested. Kortne was constantly battling with these neighbors and she was furious. She thought that her neighbors had seen Bradley coming into the house with alcohol and called. So Kortne is basically pissed off that Bradley got arrested, but she still wants to go out. And they decide to move the party down the road to Harrisburg. They go to a bar, and Kortne's still pretty hyped up, is angry, and she gets into a screaming match with a guy and his girlfriend at the bar. So she ends up getting kicked out, and she's angry. And she leaves with an old friend whose name is Cody Pruitt. And Cody follows her home to make sure that she gets home safe. Now, just a little bit of background on Cody from what I read. He was 8 years older than her and apparently had a crush on her for years. Her mother said that she felt like she probably didn't want to be there by herself, at her home that is, and that she thought that bringing a, quote, big strapping fellow back might help the situation. So, by this point, Kortne is still angry about Bradley. She's been drinking, and she's mad that she got kicked out of the bar. So she gets home and she decides that she's gonna confront Todd, her neighbor. And she's yelling and screaming at him, and they're like in their front yard, chest to chest, yelling at each other. Police got called a second time, and basically they come out and they're like, look, leave each other alone. Just go to your own apartments and leave each other alone. Kortne was upset. Cody described her as irate, and apparently she started screaming and yelling again and stomping on the floor and just being insanely rowdy. So the neighbors called the police again, and by this time it's a little after 4 a.m. When the officers arrive, it's completely quiet. All the lights were off, and they figured that she had cooled off and finally went to bed. At 7:30 a.m., Cody wakes up, and Kortne is nowhere to be found, so he leaves her apartment and goes to a convenience store nearby and then decides to text her. Now, we're gonna fast forward to Monday. Wendy said that she woke up on Monday and she was just feeling uneasy because she hadn't heard from Kortne. So Wendy decided to go to her apartment. She had a spare key, and when she entered, she found that everything was exactly where it should be. The keys were on the floor in their normal place. The shoes were in their normal place. Sheba, the dog, met her at the door, which wasn't normal because Kortne took Sheba everywhere that she went. Kortne's vehicle was in the driveway with the windows down. So Wendy is concerned and she calls the police. Police say that there was no physical evidence in the apartment, but they treated the case as a homicide from day one. A few days later, a female who says that she's a friend of Kortne's, her name is Amanda Ballister, and she messages Wendy on Facebook saying that she knows what happened to Kortne. This is the story that Amanda gives to the police. Quote, 2 people that I'm convinced have done this basically went to her apartment seeking drugs and money that were in there. They had stole her money, from what I understand, and then killed Kortne, rolled her up into a carpet, and drove her to Memorial Lake, weighted her body search teams with the sonar equipment, and they scour the shoreline, but nothing is found. Police interviewed neighbors and the people that she got into the argument with at the bar many times, and they were all cleared as suspects. Cody was also interviewed, and police obtained a search warrant for his property. Cody took a polygraph and offered his DNA, and the cops never considered him a person of interest. Kortne did have connections that were drug dealers, who police say are all possible suspects, but I don't think that the drug dealers that she was friends with really made themselves too accessible to the police. So now we're going to get into theories. The theory number one is that it was drug related. Just basically like what Amanda said, that, she owed somebody money or somebody wanted drugs from her and just kind of decided to kill her and use that method to obtain their drugs or their money. Maybe she killed herself because she was upset about her boyfriend. Is that likely? No. If she committed suicide, I'm sure somebody would have found her, even if she walked away to cool off. Now, the other theory, as I always talk about, is that she moved away and just started a new life. Apparently, she had posted on Facebook at one point that she wanted to run away and start a new life, but would she really do that without her dog? Probably not. Now, the theory that I believe the most personally involves Cody. Now, it is possible that maybe Kortne had some kind of bad reaction to alcohol or drugs, and maybe she passed and then Cody panicked and didn't know what to do and hit her body. That's fair, but I'm gonna play devil's advocate here about Mr. Cody Pruitt. Cody has had a crush on Kortne for 8 years. Kortne is highly intoxicated at 4 o'clock in the morning. Kortne's boyfriend isn't there, and Cody knows that he's not coming home that night. What do we think I'm getting at here? Maybe he wanted to have sex with her, or not even have sex, just was trying to make advances at her and she wasn't having it. Maybe that third 911 call wasn't her being belligerent. Maybe that was her trying to fight off Cody. Why, when he woke up knowing how upset she was, did he just decide, oh, I'm gonna go to a convenience store and then call her? Why didn't he try harder for this girl that he had such a huge crush on? So that is all of the theories. I know that this video is probably a little quick, a little fast, but I think that when I get excited, I start to talk a little bit faster, but hopefully you enjoyed it. I would love for you to leave your comments and theories and suggestions down below. You can also check me out on the TINGLES app, where you can stream videos for free, but you can play them in the background of your phone, like you don't have to have the YouTube app open. There is also a tip jar there, which your donations help me to produce higher quality content faster. which gets you access to as many as 3 videos a week for as little as $1 donation a month. So you can check that out, and I'll have my Twitter down there. There will also be an email address. I am going to be taking personalized ASMR requests. Obviously, you're welcome to leave your comments of suggestions of cases, but either donating to my Patreon or just sending me an email can ensure that your request gets fulfilled. But with the email, it doesn't have to be like a true crime recommendation. Like if you want to role play or something, or even just me saying your name over and over again, then that would be something you could email me, and we can talk about that. Otherwise, you can look forward to the Brian Shaver case in the future, and